Part 1 of the holiday event 2024 is here in Pokemon Go, and with it we've got some brand new shinies like Sandygast. Yes, hello everyone, I hope you're doing well, and we have got Shiny Sandygast finally released in the game, surprisingly through the holiday event, which was definitely a surprise. It's not really the most festive Pokemon, but I guess with this year they're going for a more, like, you know, hemisphere type feel. Like, you know, we've got more fire type Pokemon to represent the southern hemisphere who are in the summer right now, and of course we've got the usual ice type Pokemon to represent us here in the northern hemisphere who are in the middle of winter. So it kind of makes sense that we've got Shiny Sandygast being released, but still, it comes as a bit of a surprise. But a brand new costume Pokemon, which we're going to be catching in a little bit. We're going to have to find a raid for that one, because unfortunately it is raid locked, which kind of sucks. But it is what it is. We've got a bunch of other festive Pokemon showing up. We've got a couple costume shinies showing up, and a bunch more to go ahead and hunt in this event. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into the grind for part 1 of the holiday event. Basically the final event of the year, if you include the part 1 and part 2 as the same event. See what we can find on day 1 of the holiday event part 1, I suppose. Hopefully a good couple shinies. That would be nice. I can't say this was the shiny I was expecting to be the first one of the holiday event. Shiny Numel, okay. It's been a long time since I got one of these. I think the last time I got one was Hoenn, I think? Like, Numel doesn't really show up that much. Pretty sure right now it's a seasonal spawn, if I'm not mistaken. Well, it might be an event one, in which, yeah, this would be our first event shiny. But, you know, still, it's a cool one, I guess. 671, it's not great IVs by any means, but, you know, still, shiny Numel, I'm down with that. Can we follow over shiny Delibird? No, I'm pretty sure Delibird is partially shiny boosted. It was like 1 in 64 or anything, but I'm pretty sure it is partially boosted to at least 1 in 128. I mean, you never know, we might see a couple. Gotta say though, shiny Numel, was not expecting that, but, you know, I'll take it. Now, event field research. We've got a research task right here. It's to catch 10 Pokemon, and it's Costume Eevee. Unfortunately, Costume Eevee isn't showing up in the wild. I have seen a couple regular Eevees, but annoyingly, they don't have the costume, which is kind of sad, you know? One slight issue I do have with this year's holiday event is the fact that all the costume Pokemon are basically raid locked. The only costume Pokemon that's actually showing up in the wild is a costume Delibird, which, don't get me wrong, is, you know, fine, you know, I mean, it's a nice costume, it's a festive Pokemon. I'm happy it's featured in the wild, but it's just, the rest of them aren't, which is weird. I mean, don't get me wrong, Eevee, and I think a couple others are featured in field research, but yeah, it's just a bit weird that for this year's holiday event, basically all the costume Pokemon are in raids, especially the new one, which we'll cover in a little bit, obviously. Yeah, it just doesn't really sit right with me, you know, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for the next, or for part 2 of the event as well. It's just, yeah, not the biggest fan of it, but, you know, either way. The Costume Eevee being in the catch 10 Pokemon tasks, which is pretty common. It's the first event task I've seen. With it being in a fairly easy task, I am going to be grinding it the entirety of part 1, because I already have the shiny, but I really want that Hundo, but let's see what happens. Real quick Sandygast check. It's not shiny. Okay, it's got a beautiful shiny, so I would love to try and pick it up. But that's not the reason I wanted to record here, because we finished at page 1 of the free timed research. I've got to claim these. We got 10 Great Balls, and we got a couple encounters with Barkmite. Okay, 492. We'll check how good that is in a minute. What about the second encounter? The Sandygast. Okay, 517. I'm pretty sure we're looking for something in the 520s. I don't think this one's great, but I don't think it's bad either. Yeah, 91. Okay. But anyways, let's go and claim these rewards here. We get 1,000 Stardust, we get 1,000 XP, and we can move on to page 2. We've got to pick between Spark and Sierra now. Now, I'm pretty sure this will change. It doesn't really change much of the research. I think it just changes what type of Pokemon you see in the encounters, like fire or ice type Pokemon. And I have seen that you can get a Shadow Vulpix from the Sierra route, and considering the fact that I'm still looking for that Hundo after like 5-6 years, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Sierra because research Shadows have an increased chance of being purifiable Hundos, you know, so might as well see if we can go ahead and pull that. Moving on to page 2, we have to catch 10 fire type Pokemon, take snapshots of 5 different wild Pokemon, and complete 5 field research tasks. Should be very easy. I've got 3 research tasks that I'm currently working on. These I'm pretty sure reward Sandygast, and they're very common tasks as well, so if you want to hunt Sandygast during this event, catch 10 ground type Pokemon, not a bad way to go on it, you know, and plus you have an increased chance of getting yourself a Shundo as well, so that's always fun. Just wraps up the daily incense for the day. 22 Pokemon core. It's alright, I suppose. Well, I will say one thing. Well, first off, we had a bunch of cool festive holiday spawns, like, you know, Delibird, Vanillite, Burkbite, stuff like that. But I will say one thing. As you guys can see, there was a Costume Stantler there. Costume Stantler is featured in the event. It's in tier 3 raids with Costume Glaceon. But it's not supposed to be in the wild. So I don't know if that's intentional. My guess is that Stantler has been taken out of the wild, but it's still available as a daily incense spawn, because I think that's a separate spawn pool to the wild. And it just so happens that Stantler can spawn with the bells off the daily incense. That's my guess. But, you know, still, it means that if you want a shiny Costume Stantler, you can hunt it in the wild. I'm guessing it's going to be 1 in 64 shiny rates, because I'm pretty sure that's the rates of getting the shiny in raids. So, I mean, theoretically speaking, if you want a shiny Costume Stantler, you could just technically run Roar of Time with your daily incense a bunch. I don't know how common it is on the daily. We just saw 1. I might have gotten really lucky. But, you know, point is, it's there. If you want to hunt 4 off the daily instance, you can do. It saves you having to do raids, and it means that you can go ahead and raid the new costume Pokemon about. Of course, if you want to. I can understand why people wouldn't want to raid this, but it's still there. Of course, that being Costume Dedenne. This is the new costume Pokemon for this year's holiday event, sort of like how Psyduck was last year's. However, the difference between the two is the fact that this one's raid locked, which sucks. Don't get me wrong, it is boosted shiny rates. I'm pretty sure it's about 1 in 64 when it comes to the shiny rates, but it's just... This is an issue that me and a lot of other people from what I've seen have with this year's holiday event when it comes to Part 1 and Part 2, and also with the New Year's event, which was announced yesterday. We won't go into details about it, but long story short, a lot of the new Pokemon, like, you know, new costume Pokemon and new shinies are raid locked, which it just kind of sucks. Like, this event released Shiny Sandygast, which, don't get me wrong, is in the wild, you know, that's not an issue. But it also released Costume Dedenne, and it can be shiny, but it's only in raids. When, like, you look at Psyduck last year, yeah, Psyduck was full odds. It was still in the wild, you know? And I feel like Dedenne should be that, or at least it should be available in the wild for Part 2. That just makes the most sense to me. But yeah, it's raid locked for the entire event, and it's not even featured at all during Part 2. I mean, it might be in field research tasks, we don't know yet. From what we've seen, it's not featured in Part 2, and so it just kind of sucks. First off, can we get a shiny? It's about 1 in 64. Can we get it? No, dang it. Someone in our local group has actually managed to go ahead and get it first raid, apparently, which is insanely lucky. Unfortunately, we didn't get that lucky, but, you know, still, it is what it is. But it just, like, it doesn't really sit right with me that, like, everything new, it feels like, is raid locked. Like, Shiny Satotl is, well, okay, it's not raid locked Shiny Satotl in Part 2, but it's not in the wild, it's an incense spawn, and it's only an incense spawn on, like, 3 days. One of those days, I'm pretty sure, being Christmas Day. But don't get me wrong, yeah, people can go out and play it. I know not everyone celebrates Christmas, but for those that do, they're not going to want to go out on that day to try and get the shiny. They're going to be wanting to spend it celebrating and spending time with family, and so it just doesn't really sit right with me. How many things are raid locked? Like, yeah, it's nice that they're shiny boosted. That kind of makes up for it, but it doesn't fully make up for it, you know? It just kind of sucks, but, you know, hey, there it is. Costume Dedenne, and that actually completes a collection challenge, which is nice. You love to see it. Just because I'm low on Pokeballs, I guess we'll claim the Dedenne collection challenge. We've got 3 collection challenges for this event, one of them being just to catch a Costume Dedenne, which does mean you have to do a Dedenne raid, which, again, doesn't really sit right with me that you have to raid this thing. Like, at least put it in research tasks. And the other 2 we'll cover in a little bit, just because I haven't finished one of them just yet. Still need to find a Cryogonal, which might be an incense exclusive spawn, so we'll throw on an incense. We're probably going to be out for like another hour grinding this event. Try and get another shiny, and hopefully finish the collection challenges. But it's just we have to catch a Cryogonal, and I haven't seen one just yet, and I've been out for like an hour and a half. So we'll see if we can catch one. But either way, let's get back to the grind and see what we can find. Finally managed to get a Cryogonal to go ahead and catch for the collection challenge. It doesn't spawn in the wild, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it's locked to research. And the research task you're going to be looking for is going to be catch 20 ice types. I've only seen 1, but bear in mind I haven't checked that many stops. It might be rare, it might be really common, it might be uncommon, but either way, that's how you get Cryogonal. You can go ahead and claim these now. So we've got the ice type collection challenge, we've got 2,000 Stardust and 15 Great Balls, and then we've got the fire type collection challenge, we've got 2,000 Stardust and another 15 Great Balls. We've got the free time research, we got 10 Pineapple Berries, 20 Pokeballs, and another 500 dust. Now we get 2,000 XP and an encounter with the Shadow Vulpix 362. I don't think that's it. Oh, that's annoying. I really want that Purified Hundo. Vulpix is one of my favorite Pokemon. I really want the Hundo of it. There's so many Vulpix grunts and just haven't been able to get it. And I don't think this is it. Nah. Oh well, still, it's always cool to see a shiny, well not shiny, Shadow from research. I mean, we'll keep it. Yeah, it just kind of sucks it wasn't a Purified Hundo, but whatever. And moving on to page number 3, we have to get 25 Fire-type Pokemon, Power Fire-type Pokemon 10 times, and collect max particles from 3 power spots. That might be an issue. We've already collected, I think, close to 600 particles today, and so that might be difficult. Don't know if you'll have to go ahead and complete that, but I mean, either way, it is what it is. That's all you have to do for the final page. That's the research out the way. We'll probably go ahead and do one more lap around the track, just try and see if we get another shiny, and then I think we're going to go ahead and wrap things up there, because I'm tired and I need to get home and edit this, see you guys, and then get back out later on for Slugma and Bergmite Spotlight Hour. So yeah, as I said, we'll do one more lap around the track, see what we get. Hopefully another shiny, but we'll have to see. And now, as I'm sure you guys can tell, a bit of time has passed, it's now gotten dark, and it's currently Bergmite and Slugma Spotlight Hour. And I'm not making a separate video for this, obviously, because I've got way too many videos I need to catch up on editing and uploading as is, and so I just figured we'll just include any shinies we get in this. And so, as I'm sure you guys can tell, we got a shiny, we got ourselves a shiny Bergmite, which is lovely. Don't get me wrong, Bergmite's the one that I wanted the least out of the two, because, I mean, I already have enough to finish the set. With Slugma, I only have one, and it's been about nearly 3 years since I got it. I got it back during the Johto tour. So I was kind of hoping to get shiny Slugma, but I mean, hey, you know, it's a shiny. It's fine. We only had one shiny reaction clip in this video. It makes that 2, you know? Can't complain. Although the IVs aren't great. 287, but it is what it is. The shiny's a shiny. We'll take it. And actually, even though it's only the second shiny clip like this, where like, you know, I show you guys me catching it in today's video, it isn't the second shiny, because I did go on a bus grind to restock on Pokeballs in preparation for the Spotlight Hour. We had some insane luck. We started off the bus ride with a shiny Cantonian Meowth, which, you know, isn't really an event form, but you know, it's there. Can't complain it. Then we managed to get a shiny Alolan Sandshrew on the bus back. It's a boosted shiny. I expected to get it, although I will say, I don't know why, but for some reason, sometimes with the beach biome backgrounds, it won't actually have the Christmas decorations. I don't know why. That might just be a bug or something like that. Maybe it is intentional. I don't know. But then the craziest thing that we caught on the bus, and possibly the craziest thing I've caught in a good while, actually. As we were nearing the end of the bus grind, I was just checking a few things. Not really catching much, obviously, because I'm trying to restock on Pokeballs, and I check a Darumaka. It's shiny, but it's also XXL. Yeah, we got an XXL shiny Darumaka. This is a full odds XXL shiny, which is crazy. I mean, don't get me wrong, the IVs aren't great, and by the way, the IVs aren't great on any of the shinies we got on the bus. I mean, that Meowth potential PvP, I guess, but even then it's not great. But still, XXL shiny Darumaka, that is an insane pickup. I'm very happy with that. But had an insane past hour and a half-ish, so can't complain with that. Let's go see if we can get another shiny during Spotlight Hour. You know, you never know. Alright, and that's gonna be it for Bergmite and Slugma Spotlight Hour. Unfortunately, yeah, we didn't get the X for the shiny Slugma, but still a shiny Bergmite, I'm happy with that, you know? Can't complain. Now, before we go ahead and wrap up today's video, I want to go ahead and quickly claim these 3 research tasks. We've got 2 Sandygasts and an EV task to go ahead and claim it. The first Sandygast is not going to be shiny, it's not going to be the Hundo, it's going to be terrible, actually. But we can get something better with the second, it's not shiny, and oh god, it's even worse. Well, anyway, moving on to the EV task, it's not going to be shiny, and 435 is also terrible. 459 is the Hundo, so unfortunately, it's not great. Another thing, I also managed to go ahead and finish page 3. Yeah, it turns out when we moved on to page 3, I was still able to claim max particles from exactly 3 power spots. So, guess we just got lucky with that, but it means we can go ahead and complete it. So we get 10 Ultra Rules, we get a Golden Raspberry, and we get 100 Max Particles, and we can go ahead and claim these rewards. We got ourselves 2,000 Stardust, 3,000 XP, and an encounter with Sandygast, which is 507. Okay, that's better than the 2 we had from the research tasks, at least. Sucks it wasn't shiny, and honestly, kind of sucks it wasn't Dedenne. I won't talk about it too much more, because of course we talked about it for a good while in the clip where we actually caught the new costume Dedenne. But I feel as though it would be nice if they gave us, like, a free costume Dedenne, like, you know, at the end of the time to research, just for those who don't really want to read it. Oh, and I guess now for finishing out, we just get a bit of extra Stardust, I guess. I don't really know why that wasn't included as like a page 4. Well, anyway, with that out of the way, that's basically going to be it for today's video. Of course, 5 shinies. I'm fine with that, honestly. Especially that XXL shiny Darumaka. That was the biggest win of the day. You know, that was amazing. But yeah, anyways, with all that said and done, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the video here. So if you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like down below on the video, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you get notified as to when the next video comes out. And finally, comment down below how the day 1 of part 1 of the holiday event go for you guys. Did you play much for it? If you did you get any cool shinies? Did you get any Hundos? Did you potentially get any Shundos, maybe? You never know. And did you get the costume shiny Dedenne? Of course, if you did, huge congratulations, because it's going to be a very hard to get shiny. But no matter what you got, feel free to tell me how your day went in the comments down below. I'll happily give them a read to see how you guys did. And with all that said and done, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Click on the videos up on screen right now. I'm sure you'll enjoy them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys later.